Welcome to yoga, everyone. If you're at home, be sure to have a nice sturdy chair to sit in, and we will stay in our chair so that we're nice and safe. Thank you, Margaret. So we'll just start out in our chairs, letting the chair take your weight so that you can relax. Just notice your breathing. Does it feel smooth or forced, relaxed or stressful? There's no need to change your breathing right now. Just observe. And then notice your body. And do you have any places today where you're feeling stress or tension, maybe pain? You want to notice those places so you can take extra good care of them today. And then just take a minute to notice whatever you've got on your mind today. Give it a little attention, and then you can set that aside while we practice if that's a need, and realize that you may have to set that aside several times. But you can always focus in on your breathing, focus in on your movement, and that helps to give your brain a little break. Now we're going to start to change our breath. We're going to breathe deeply. You may need to sit up a little bit straighter for this. So we want to breathe in through the nose if you're able, and let the breath come way down into your belly. And you want the belly to expand, so you may put your hands there so you can feel your belly expanding. And then we're going to slowly exhale through the nose or through the lips as if you're blowing out a candle. So inhale, feel the breath deep in your belly, and then slowly exhale. And then do this at your own pace, that deep inhale, that slow exhale, maybe 4 to 5 counts long on your exhale. Just do that at your own pace for a few breaths to help you settle in. Now we're going to get ready to move into our stretching and strengthening. We'll check our posture first. We're going to pull the shoulders up toward the ears. You want to have your feet flat on the floor. And then exhale, let your shoulders come down the back, and then we'll neutralize the spine a little bit. Let's start out with airplane today. We're just going to warm up the sides. Watch that. Watch the table there. We've got. We're about to have a smash up here in the front row. Oh. Okay, now we're going to stop with one arm up and the other arm down. Stretch really tall, as tall as you can get, and then lean toward that lower arm. You can look at me, you can look up under your elbow, look at the floor, whatever feels okay to your neck. Inhale up, exhale down, and then we're going to stretch really tall, and then lean in the other direction. Then we'll inhale up. Let's turn the palms away from each other and then slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now let's come back up about shoulder high. We're just going to do some circles. And then we'll flip our palms and circle in the opposite direction. Just keep circling. I'll take things off bit by bit. I thought I could take the jacket, but no. Now bring your fingertips to your shoulders and we'll do some big circles. And reverse. And then we'll release the stand. We're going to press the elbows in toward the body. We're going to inhale as we engage all the muscles starting at the feet all the way up through the shoulders. And squeeze, even lifting your buttons up off your chair, and then release. One more time, squeeze everything, and release. Good job. Let's bend our elbows. We're going to touch the thumb to every finger. And then circle the wrists. And reverse. Now let your palm face me. We're going to pull the fingertips back. The stretch here. Flip the palm over and kind of pull down on the fingertips or press down on the top of the hand. Gently, and then other side, same thing. Flip. Shake that out. Let's open up with an inhale, and then we're going to close like we're hugging a big beach ball with an exhale. This time, let's hug. Give yourself a big hug. Release all the air. Then we'll inhale, and we're going to hug with the other arm on top. And then inhale to open. This time we're going to hug the knees. And really exhale all the air out. And then you can just breathe normally until we're ready to scoop up. So we're going to reach toward your ankles. And on your next inhale, we're going to scoop up. Turn the palms to the back of the room. And then slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's scoop up one more time. Inhale. Palms face the back of the room. And then slowly exhale. Let's go into conductor. We're really getting everything nice and loose here in the upper body. Then we'll do our neck. And then meet me out here in cactus arms. We're going to inhale and exhale to squeeze in front. And then repeat that several times. Inhale and exhale. And more. And then release and just roll your shoulders. I think we maybe already did this, but we'll do it. Just loosen back up a little bit and reverse. And then we'll just pull the shoulders to the ears. I'm sorry, I'm yawning. I don't want to get that started. All right, let's work on our necks. We'll start with just nodding. Yes. The weather is making me want to be lazy. And then we'll say no, just looking side to side. And this can be as small as large as you feel capable of. Sometimes, the neck doesn't want to move as far as we want it to move. But it's good practice to do this. Keep you nice and loose for driving and such. Chin to your chest now. Just take a deep breath and release it here. Feel a good stretch in the back of your neck, down between your shoulder blades. And then come to face me. We're going to let the ear come toward the shoulder on the same side. And while you're doing that, you might intensify the stretch by extending the arm you're leaning away from. You might put a little weight across your head. You might massage. And there's some things you can choose here based on what you need today. Remember to keep breathing. And we'll release and do the same thing on the other side. And release. Let's get forward in our chairs and move into the lower body. Remember again, no pain, no strain here. If we do anything that doesn't feel right to you, you can return to anything we've already done. You can just breathe, or you can make any kind of movement that feels okay. Good. And now we're going to do some leg lifts. For these, you can bend your knee or you can keep your leg relatively straight. Just keep your knee soft. We'll slowly lift and lower. Switch legs. Good. And now we'll go into sit-ups. You can do straight ahead sit-ups or twisting sit-ups. I'll do twisting. You can follow me if you want to do those. And switch sides if you're following me. Good. And then if you need, you can do a little airplane to loosen up. Good. Let's do a few jumping jacks. So on jumping jacks is just like it sounds. You can go all in, like you're standing up doing those jumping jacks, or you can maybe do one-sided, or only the upper body, only the lower body. You get to choose here. I'm gonna just do a regular sitting jumping jack. Nice work. Now, let's get back in our chairs. We're going to bring our legs up into a staff pose. And from here, we'll do some point and flex. And then circle the ankles. And reverse. And then you can release your feet down for just a second to rest. Then we'll come back up into staff. This time we're going to point our toes and do some scissors. Just like it sounds. Bless you. And then we'll bend the knees. Let's go for another round of leg lifts. And so just like before, just lift and lower. Itch legs. Good. And then we'll do our sit-ups again. So we can have a choice to go straight forward or to twist. I'll do the twist, so you can follow me if you want to do that. And then the other side, and I just wanted to make sure you know that my hands are just very lightly behind my head. I'm not tugging in any way. We don't want to tug on the head or the neck. And straighten those. Good job. Now, if you need to loosen up, go ahead and do that. All right. Let's throw in a little skater switch today, and then we'll go into our warrior. So skater switch takes a little bit of coordination. It's kind of like you're one of those fast speed skaters. You're extending one leg, you're reaching toward the other ankle and throwing your arm out behind you. And then from side to side. Good. Now before we do our warriors, let's just do one little shoulder stretch there. You can do that like this, or you can bend the elbow and press in here for the opposite shoulder. And then release, and we'll do the other side. Looking over the shoulder that you're working. I think I said that funny to begin with. There you go. Thank you. It takes a little bit sometimes. Don't ever feel bad. Just do the best you can. All right, we're going to go into our warriors. So turn to face one side of your chair. So you're going to extend the leg that's closer to me behind you. So you've got a bent leg here with the toes down and the heel up. I'm going to point the tailbone toward the floor. Then we'll inhale the arms up and then exhale down into tricep dip. So we'll repeat that several times. Now, with arms up overhead, this is our warrior one. We're going to windmill the arms down. So now they're about shoulder height. And then you can extend your leg if that feels okay. If not, just keep it bent like before. You're really stretching as far as you can stretch, like you're trying to reach both of the walls. Still breathing. Ribs are stacked over hips. Then we're going to bring one arm and your front arm above your knee, palm facing up. And then look behind you. Imagine you're drawing a line down that wall, across the floor, up the other wall. And then we're just stretching as long as we can stretch. Remembering to breathe, and you can look wherever you want to look here. And then move with your breath to come out of that the same way you came into it, back up to warrior two. Good. Now face me in horse pose. So hands are just on your inner thighs with fingertips pointing down. We're going to bring one elbow into the space and look one shoulder into the space and look over the other shoulder. Sometimes I get confused. Okay, there we go. And then you do the same thing on the other side. So it's really, it's shoulder stretch, but it's also a great twist. You're getting your inner thighs into it, your low back into it, and kind of stretching a little bit. And then when you're ready, just turn and face the other side, whichever side you didn't do before. And we'll get into that warrior one. And with the bent knee, your tailbone to the floor. And then we'll inhale up, exhale down, and tricep dip. Repeat that several times. Arms are overhead in warrior one. We'll windmill down, warrior two. Just like before, if you want to extend your leg, you can. If that feels safe. Ribs are stacked over hips. Arms are about shoulder height. I'm extending from wall to wall. And then we'll flip the front palm, tip back to Peaceful Warrior. Back down to Warrior 2. Arm above the knee. Look behind you and draw the imaginary line. A big stretch. Side angle stretch. Remember to breathe. And then we'll move out of that the same way we came into it with the breath and back up. Very nice. And then come and face me. Let's go into our eagle arms pose. So this gets another good twist in there. We'll start here. We're going to inhale, exhale to twist. I kind of jumped ahead a little bit, but that's okay. We'll go back and get our legs. Looking over your shoulder, breathing. This is a really good twist for the spine. And then we'll come back around and cross over. Then we're going to bend the elbows. It's okay. It's okay. And then you can just touch the backs of your hands together or maybe wind up. And you'll feel some good stretching between your shoulders. Yeah. If this is too intense, you can do that stretch we did before. And then we'll inhale and lift up just a little bit and then exhale. And into your lap. Release. And then we'll inhale up. Turn the palms to the back of the room and then exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And repeat that to the other side. Go back and do our last leg lifts. So here we are. Going to inhale. Exhale just to turn. And you bring the front hand to the outside of the knee on the other side. So your opposite knee. There you go. There you go. And so we're looking behind us. And then we're going to move with the breath. Back around and cross the back arm over the front arm. Yes. And then bend the elbows. And you can touch the backs of the hands together or maybe wind up a little bit if your arms do that. Not everybody's will, and that's okay. Good breath. Then we'll inhale and lift up a little bit. Exhale to curve down. Feel like it's stretching your low back. Release. And then we'll inhale up. Turn the palms toward the back of the room. And then slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. Now we're going to finish up on our legs and our sit-ups. So this time we'll start with sit-ups. So again, you have the choice to twist or not. Here we go. I'm going to switch sides. Good. And then if you need to loosen up your sides, you can do that. Get some good deep breaths. And then we're going to finish up with our leg lifts. We'll do some stretching. So first, just leg lift. And then let your heel rest. Keep your knees soft. We're going to inhale to sit up nice and straight. You might hold here if you choose. And then we're going to slowly exhale as we hinge out. And just kind of hinge from your hips and feel the stretch from your sits bone all the way down to your arch. And then when you're ready, you can slowly come back up. We're going to hug that knee in. And while you're here stretching your quadricep, you also might kind of rock around in your chair, massage your glute. You might point and flex again. You might circle. Just any kind of movement that feels good to you. We're kind of on the starting toward the cool down now. So get any kinks out that you can. And then we will cross over. So we're going to cross this leg over the other. You can cross low on your leg or you can cross above the knee. And you want to keep this foot flexed. So you may already be feeling some stretching in your hip here. You can stay here if you choose, or you might hinge out a little like we did before. Remembering to breathe really deeply. Imagine you're sending breath into that hip that you're stretching. It'll give it some time to relax. Stretch back out from the work we've been doing. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back up. We're going to place that foot on the ground, and then we're going to repeat that, all of that on the other leg. So we'll lift and lower first. And let the heel rest, keeping the knees soft. We'll inhale, sit up straight, exhale to hinge out. And when you're ready, we'll slowly come back up. We're going to hug the knee in just like before. You can make any kind of movements here that you choose. And then we'll cross over either low or high. You can make a different choice on this side if this hip's feeling different today. Remembering to keep this foot flexed. You can hinge out if that feels okay. This is a seated figure 4 stretch, or sometimes it's called a pigeon. And there are lots of different variations of a pigeon. And when you're ready, you can slowly come back up. Place the foot down. We're almost ready. Relax into our chairs again. Before we do that, get your wiggles out. Make any kind of movement that you want to make. You can go back to something we've already done. You can just work your neck around if it feels stiff. Just any kind of movement you want to make. And then we meet together for a sunshine pose. And that's just with knees apart, hands cupped in front. We're going to keep our heads up while we lean forward. Then we'll inhale to scoop up. You might imagine you're scooping up some nice cool water and then releasing it over your face. And then just lay back into your chair. Start to let your chair take your weight, just like we did in the beginning. Your hands can be loose in your lap, either palms facing up or palms facing down, whatever feels more comfortable to you. Maybe take a good sigh, inhale, and then sigh it out. Maybe windshield wiper your feet a little bit and then just let them fall loose. Get your neck in a nice neutral position where you don't feel like you're making a lot of effort to hold your head up. Take the tongue off the roof of the mouth to let your jaw relax. Relax the place between your eyebrows. Let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Just take another moment to enjoy this peace and quiet. When you're ready, there's no rush. You can start to reawaken by wiggling your fingers and toes, maybe opening your eyes if they were closed, then moving into the bigger muscles, the arms and legs. And then we'll reach really tall. Inhale, exhale down into a hug for yourself. Think of something kind to say to yourself, something you know you need to hear or be reminded of. And then when you're ready, you can just give a little squeeze and release. Stay. Namaste, everyone. Nice to see all of you. I'll see you next week at the same time. So have a really great week, everybody. Great way to start the week.